In the course of the year, we barely take time to look back at what we have accomplished and we are achieving every day. It almost can feel like we aren't advancing much, but looking back can bring to mind how much we have grown and eventually changed. So we all should take a moment to reflect at least once a year, to appreciate our path and to be proud that we've come this far. Let's pause life a little bit and get cozy for this yearly review. Hello lovely people, I am Katha, an illustrator based in Germany. I have a full-time job that is not related to art, so I always need to make time for my creative practice between all the other responsibilities life withholds, especially in the stressful periods of the year. Today I want to share a reflection of my artwork this year. I want to look at the colorful illustrations and the stories behind them. Therefore, also take a moment to be thankful, and in the end of the video I also want to address some words of gratitude to you. This is an inspiration board. Last January I painted those illustrations to remind me of my goals this year and the slow habits I wanted to incorporate to my daily life. By manifesting those things, they became more present, and through the illustrations I was reminded of them every time I looked at the mood board. I must admit that it didn't change my life, but it was always a friendly reminder to prioritize the things that matter to me. Maybe it is also something for you to start the year with. I link the video above. My husband started our new passion of linocut printing and always made me a little impression of all the beautiful designs he created. Even those adorable penguins. This was a present for me. So it was also the year I came back to linocut printing. I started with 2 designs for a bookmark and a postcard. It was a challenge to express my style in a completely different medium. In February I painted this Victorian love letter illustration. While I really enjoyed painting one side with those small letter-carrying animals, I wasn't happy with the colors and design of the other side. Although I am glad that even in those moments one can learn so much about one's own taste and color preferences. These are paintings I made with traditional gouache, trying this medium for the first time. The Life of Looms, a series I started in spring and took it with me through all the seasons. I got better at working with artist gouache and really enjoyed thinking about the composition and the feelings I wanted to express. Those paintings evoke special memories of our family time in nature. Next year I plan to paint 9 more of those illustrations to end with a whole calendar to print. This goes to all the dog and Samoyed lovers. This is a tiny illustration I made with acrylic markers of a beautiful story. Can you guess which? Recently in December I made this advent calendar of kindness with gouache. The idea behind it makes me really happy. Every day there is a small action of kindness you can do to bring more love in this world. I did a few of them and it was a really beautiful thing to do. This year's Christmas postcard that I sent to all my loved ones turned out just as I had imagined. I planned it throughout all the year. For a long time I had this idea in my mind and felt very proud and accomplished when it finally was finished. It was like a fountain of joy in my heart. Sometimes I also start things and never finish them, like this illustration where I felt that everything went wrong. This is also part of the process. Frankly, I would say that I don't have a daily sketchbook practice, not even weekly. I would like to change that, but for now, I can say that I was also surprised that I still filled so many pages. I have this habit to clear my wet palette from time to time, so I use the remaining acrylic gouache as a background for future paintings. It helps a lot not to start with a blank page. The colorful background feels like an invitation to paint on top in order to create a new image. This sketchbook is special to me because it was a gift from my husband and it holds all my sketches and first ideas before I turn them into finished illustrations. I like to test the composition, color combinations and values an illustration may have. This year I felt also so inspired to keep on practicing painting with my oil pastels. So I managed to make only few illustrations, but I am so happy with how they turned out. The smooth texture stole my heart and I really like to apply them also with my fingers to see what happens when you blend and mix the colors. In this Etcher watercolor sketchbook, I made a lot of color mixing practice pages, and I remember that I was so impressed by the range of variation of colors you can get with a smaller selection of a color palette. I think that I'll have to keep on focusing on this subject in the future because it's so educational. I have to learn a lot about colors. Also, I noticed various times how a limited color palette can affect the look of an illustration. I started this series of illustrations with acrylic gouache to participate in the Peachtober Art Challenge. For me it was a really creative October and I enjoyed it so much. I tried a slightly new illustration style or themes, new mixed media techniques, and in the end I felt so accomplished. Not because I had painted all the prompts, but because I tried and then embraced the outcome. With those two bigger pieces, I also made a lot of progress. I now see it when I look back. I had a lovely time with this illustration, but in the end I discovered that I didn't want to go further in the direction of style. It's different with the roses painting. Suddenly I felt that during the process something clicked and simply every step felt right. It now lives in our living room and I feel happy every time I look at it. This year of painting reminded me that art is not only about what appears on the paper or the canvas. It reminded me to listen more carefully, especially to myself and my intuition, to what feels right instead of what feels impressive, for example. Not every piece has to be finished and not every idea has to be perfect. Some are simply meant to exist for a moment, to teach us something and then be released. But instead, it is also about the excitement of creating something that feels important to your heart. I learned that inspiration doesn't live far away, that I had to train myself to look closer. Inspiration lives in everyday moments, in the way a dog runs freely through a field, in a fascinating garden flower, in the light falling across my desk in the late afternoon. And even the most ordinary things can become special. This year also taught me that it is okay to fail and to start something and not finish it, to change directions, because I think that it is almost always a turning point for growth. Art became this lovely place for me this year, space to express feelings I couldn't always put into words, a place for nostalgia and also joy. Looking ahead, I hope to continue creating with curiosity instead of pressure. I really hope to give myself permission to take things slowly, while deepening, for example, my relationship with color, the mood of a painting and composition, and to keep trusting that my style will unfold naturally and also consciously, one painting and one sketch at a time. More than anything, I hope to keep making space for my art in my everyday life. And now I want to invite you to do something simple. Take a moment to look back at what you have created, at what you have learned, at how you have grown, even in ways that may not be visible at first glance. Celebrate the small steps and honor the unfinished ideas and even detours. And if you feel inspired, open your own sketchbook. Be reminded that it's not the most important to create something curated, but to reconnect with yourself. In the end, I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you for watching, supporting with every kind word and comment. Sometimes I even can't believe that there are people saying so many lovely things and being so supportive. And thank you for sharing this journey with me. I feel honored and blessed to walk beside you. I wish you all a very merry and happy new year with creative blessings and inspiration. And until we meet again, Liebe.